Hi, I'm Mary from Movellas YouTube channel. I'm here with Holly Smale, author of Geek Girl, and we're going to do a Q&A.
Brilliant.
So, Holly, tell us a secret about Geek Girl.
Okay, well, Geek Girl was originally called The Metamorphoses of Harriet Manners, and yeah, then I changed it to Geek News, and then it became Geek Girl, so actually it was the third title.
Wow.
And it was originally going to be set in Paris, so it wasn't going to be London, it wasn't going to be Moscow, so I changed those. And Alexa was originally called Sarah, and I had to change it because I had a new friend that I didn't want to upset by giving her the name of the bully.
Yeah, send her a message.
Yeah, exactly, just to let you know I don't actually like you that much. So yeah.
Why did you decide to make those changes?
Apparently The Metamorphoses of Harriet Manners is the world's geekiest title for any book. So ironically, it was too geeky for a book about geeks. And yeah, they wanted to make it a bit more obvious about what it was. I was going to have a polar bear on the front cover, which would have been very confusing for readers.
Yeah.
So that was to make sure that people knew what the book was about, more as opposed to being incredibly geeky. And obviously I changed Alexa's name so that my friend wouldn't be upset. And I moved it from Paris just because I tried to write a scene about Paris, and I know Paris quite well, but it wasn't exciting enough for me, and I suddenly thought, you know, that a lot of sort of fashion-based scenes are in Paris a lot of the time, and I thought actually Moscow is a really exciting city. It's very pretty and romantic, and it's somewhere that people don't go as often in books, so I kind of, and that sort of really set the ball rolling for me doing settings in other countries that were perhaps, you know, a little bit different.
Yeah, slightly more like exotic.
Yeah.
Cool. What's your favourite book at the moment?
I'm a bit in love with Life After Life by Kate Atkinson. She's probably my favourite living author.
Oh, she's a great author.
It's amazing, and yeah, it's kind of like a really, really, really smart, well-written Groundhog Day. So yeah, I think it's just a brilliantly beautiful written book. Yeah.
How do you handle writer's block?
I've changed how I handle it over the time that I've been a writer. When I first started getting it, I would just do a lot of crying and you know, sort of throwing things, and I can't do it, and I'll never write again, and you know, my career is over. Yeah. And that was used to be how I handled it. But as I've sort of progressed a little bit, I try and be a bit more calm, and I know that eventually I will start writing again. So I try and do something completely different. I'm trying to balance it. Sometimes I have to do something completely different, you know, go for a walk or sort of see friends or something. But I also know that sometimes I just have to sit and plough through it and just write something really, really bad, and then eventually end up writing something that's okay. So sometimes you have to decide whether to walk away or to just keep ploughing at it. But it can be really hard, and you know, I still have moments when I think that I'm never going to write another sentence again. So you know, full empathy for anyone who has writer's block.
But you get through it. So.
You do get through it, as long as you keep going, and you know, that's, you see, essentially you're not going to write anything if you don't sit down and actually write. So sometimes you just have to pause yourself to write something even if you're not really ready for it.
How many hours a day do you dedicate to writing?
When I'm in research period, so before I start writing a book, and I'm in planning stage, I don't do any writing at all, and I'll just sort of floop around the house and tidy my bedroom and stare out the window and grab coffee and live the writer's life. And then when I'm actually writing, I'm very all or nothing, so I tend to get up at like 7 in the morning, start writing at 8, and then write through until 9 in the evening. And so I tend to do like sort of 12-13 hour writing days, where I sometimes get to have lunch and dinner. And so I work very solidly when I'm actually writing, because once I'm in the mood, I just want to write.
So you just get in the zone.
Yeah, and write very fast. I'm not very good at sort of doing an hour's writing and then, you know, kind of doing something else. I have to just really focus.
Yes. What do you like to snack on when you write?
What I like to snack on, when I actually do snack on, are two different things. I would like to snack on a big bar of Galaxy for the entire process, but unfortunately it takes me quite a few months to write a book, and that would be incredibly bad for my health. So I try and keep it things like nuts and bits of fruit and stuff, as opposed to eating as much chocolate as I'd like to.
Keep your energy going on those long stretches.
Exactly. And coffee, I have a lot of coffee, so I have to try and control that, because once I've had, you know, more than 3 cups, I do start getting a bit wired. Yeah, shaky hands. Shaky hands, I can't type anything. So yeah, I try and be a bit more sensible, just because I'm at my desk for so long that I have to just try and keep away from the massive bars of Cadbury's.
What's the best bit of advice you've ever been given?
I think the best bit of advice I've ever been given is that, you know, you're never going to be able to write like someone else, so you've got to try and write for yourself, not for what you think people want to read. So I always just write what makes me happy, and I try not to think about the readers too much, because essentially you can't keep everyone happy. So as long as you're writing what you're enjoying and what feels like you, your voice, then that's the only thing that you have really that's unique to bring to the table. You are the only thing that you have. So I try and stick to that, and that's probably the best advice I've ever been given.